Put this cheat card next to your dice, and your game practically runs itself. And not because it replaces you, not because it's auto DM, not because it's AI DM. It's because it keeps you from doing the one thing that quietly wrecks old school dungeon play. You forget time. When you forget time, everything else gets weird. Torches last forever, searching has no cost, noise doesn't matter, wandering monsters become whenever I remember. Resource play turns into vibes, and the dungeon stops feeling like a place and starts feeling like a map that your players walk through. So today, I'm giving you a single index card, front side, one procedure. You can use it in BX, Swords and Wizardry, OSE, pretty much any OSR or OSR adjacent rule set. Because it doesn't fight your system, it just makes your system actually show up. So here's what happens when you run turns cleanly. Your dungeon gets tense without you trying. Players get careful without a speech. You don't have to push anything. You just run the clock. So, what am I talking about here? Well, a dungeon turn is a small chunk of time, traditionally 10 minutes. And no, not 10 minutes of table time, 10 minutes in the dungeon, in the game. And once time moves in chunks, every choice becomes a trade. I'll explain. Do we search? Well, that costs a turn. Do we listen? That costs a turn. Do we move carefully? Well, that costs a turn. Do we argue about the door for 5 real world minutes? Well, in the dungeon, that costs, well, basically a turn. See, you don't punish your players, you don't scold them. You just mark time and let the dungeon do its job. Now, I'm going to read exactly what sits on this card. And as an aside, I'll remind you later, I will put this as a pinned comment on this video. Dungeon turn equals 10 minutes. 1. Declare. Pace, cautious, normal, or hurried. And the action. Move, search, listen, force, rest, disarm, pick, whatever they're doing. Other for a casual. 2. Resolve the action. If it's move, you do your dungeon movement rate. Remember encumbrance. If they're searching a room or an area, well, that's 1 turn. Listen, checking for traps, forcing a door, all that stuff. That's usually 1 turn. Time passes, so you mark 1 turn. Make 6 boxes on the bottom of the index card or the side, whatever you like, and you fill 1 each turn. Light and resources is number 4. Torches lasts 6 turns, 1 hour. Lantern oil lasts 24 turns, 4 hours. If light hits 0, deal with it now, not later. Wandering monsters. Well, you check for them generally every 2 turns. More dangerous dungeons might be more often, and safer maybe less often. You roll that 1d6. On a 1, an encounter happens. Distance, surprise, maybe reaction, whatever, per your rules. And then roll with the party does something for the wandering monsters. They do something loud, stupid, slow, whatever. They bring that upon themselves. And it's going to be one that I'll address a little bit in further detail later, but 6. Rest reminder. After 6 turns of active exploring, take 1 turn of rest or suffer penalties as decided at your table. That's on the GM. I don't have anything to give you for that. But you'll see why. Just trust me. But that's it. Excuse me. That's the whole card. And yes, you can tweak the numbers to match your house style, but don't tweak it into mush. The value is that it's automatic. You do a turn, you tick a box, you handle the 2 big engines, light and wandering monsters. And now I'm going to show you what this looks like when it hits the table. Party is in a hallway. There are 2 doors. One is swollen and half rotted. The other has fresh scratches near the latch. They stop and do that classic dungeon lawyer meeting. Okay, maybe it's trapped. Maybe it's not. Well, I listen. No, you listen. Wait. I'll check the floor. Maybe we should check the ceiling. Maybe it's a mimic. Maybe the scratches mean, and here's what you do with the card. Step 1. Declare. What's your pace? If they're being careful, call it cautious. What's your action? All right, they're going to listen to the scratch door. Next step. Resolve it. Roll whatever your system uses for hearing noise. Done. Time passes. Tick 1 box. That's 1 turn. Now they say, okay. We check for traps. Cool. Another action. Another turn. Click box number 2. And by the way, you're handling traps, either describing what they're doing or you're rolling the thief skill, but it's going to take a turn. Now they want to force the swollen door because it's stuck. Well, that's another turn. This is another action. Tick box number 3. And now they open it. And inside is a small guard room. They want to search for secret doors. Well, that's going to be another turn. Tick box number 4. At this point, the table can feel a little, but we didn't even go anywhere yet. And it's taken 40 minutes in game. And that's the point. They did a lot. They made noise. They took time. They were cautious. They were thorough. Time is the price of being safe. Now you're looking at your card and you go, oh, wait. That's 2 monster checks, right? It's a monster check every other turn. We've hit 4 turns. I got to roll twice. So you roll after turn 2, nothing. You roll after turn 4, you get a 1. That means something or someone is going to interact with the party. And now you're not punishing searching. You're not pulling a gotcha. You're just running time like a grown-up. And now the party has to deal with the consequences of moving slow and loud in hostile territory. Something found them. And that's how the dungeon becomes alive. Old school dungeons are not built around every fight is fair. They're built around choices being meaningful. And if choices don't cost anything, the best move is always, well, I'm going to search everything, rest whenever, discuss until we're sure. The moment you track turns, the best move becomes search the right things, move with purpose, decide fast. See, that's not cruelty. You know what that is? It's clarity. So here's a mistake I often see. Okay. People track time, but they don't tie it to the triggers. So it goes something like this. Sometimes you remember to roll wandering monsters. Sometimes you don't. Light runs out when somebody goes, how long have we been down here? And you go, oh, shit. Yeah, your torch is running out. And searching becomes free because nobody wants to slow down the session. That turns your dungeon into, I don't know, a theme park ride, a fun house. It's not D&D. See, everything happens in those cases when the DM remembers. The fix is simple, right? Stop asking your brain to remember. Ask the card. So, two practical little, tricks. The 6-box turn track. Draw 6 little boxes on the card margin, whatever works best for you. On the side, on the bottom, on the top. When you fill the 6, you know 2 things. You've burned an hour. And you might want to track the hours separately. And the party should rest for 1 turn or pay some sort of price at the table. And then you wipe it and you start with 6 fresh boxes. Now, the Wandering Monster check is married to the boxes. If you check every 2 turns, then on the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th, you don't decide when to roll. The boxes decided for you. And yes, you can call for extra checks for obvious noise, but the baseline check is automatic. So once you do this a couple of sessions, you'll wonder how you ever ran dungeons without it, because the card isn't bookkeeping. It's a fairness device. Now, there's a couple of things that people can get screwed up with. So, does every little action cost a turn? And no. Don't get silly with it. A turn is a meaningful chunk of time. Moving through an area, searching, listening carefully, forcing doors, disarming traps, carefully handling something that's risky. If they pick up a coin purse and keep walking, that's not a turn. If they're dismantling a statue to find a hidden compartment, that's a turn. Well, what about combat? Well, combat has its own time scale, right? It's in rounds. Or if you're playing AD&D 1E, you got segments thrown in there. But in any case, once a fight ends, you go right back to turns. And if the fight was loud, you may have to roll the extra Wandering Monster check. Now, I'm sure this one's coming up because I'm mentioning something that's not in the books. What's the point of the rest turn? And it's not for naps. It's a 10-minute breather. That's where your party is drinking water, repacking, rechecking the map, catching their breath, getting their bearings. But more importantly, it's a clean, fair way to model fatigue and put a small time cost on nonstop, cautious play. So research everything forever doesn't become the always correct answer. If your table has enough pressure from light and wandering monster checks, well, then just make rest situational or skip it entirely. I mean, we did for years. But just stay consistent. Okay, these are all tools for your toolbox. Now, here's a painless, really stripped down version of this. But this is the rhythm. Ask for their pace and their action. Resolve their action. Tick the turn box. Update the lighting. And if it's turn 2, 4, or 6, roll a Wandering Monster check. And if you hit box 6, remind them to rest 1 turn. See, that's the loop. And you can run that loop. You can run a dungeon. So, hey, before I wrap this up, give you another example of this in play. The players are now deeper into the dungeon. Their characters are tired. They've been cautious. They've searched 2 rooms, forced 1 door, and argued over which hallway smells less like death. Your 6 boxes are almost full. They decide 1 more room. So they declare, cautious, move into the room, resolve what's there, tick box 6. Now your card tells you there's a rest reminder and light. Torches last 6 turns. So you say your torch burns down. You've got seconds of sputtering flame and then darkness. And then watch what happens at the table, because now it's real. Somebody scrambles for a second torch. Somebody else says, oh, no, lantern. Or I have it. Wait, where is it on my sheet? Somebody else, shut up, I'm lighting it. It's tense, it's funny, it's chaotic. and you didn't script any of this, right? Because you ticked box 6. That's what happened. But what else is on box 6? Well, box 6 is also a wandering monster check. And what comes up? Well, if a 1 comes up, you didn't create a gotcha, you recreated a moment. Potentially darkness, noise, panic, and something heard the party as they were discussing that lighting situation. See, I like tools that do the work for you. Not because you're lazy. Maybe I'm right. I'm a little lazy. But because your brain is already running 100 things, dungeon turns are the engine room of your game session. What do I mean? Well, with them, exploration stays meaningful, resource play stays fair, the place feels alive, and you stay honest. The index card just keeps you from dropping that engine on the floor and screwing everything up. Write the card exactly as I read it, but like I said, check for the pinned comment, tape it to your DM screen, stick it under your dice tray, put it next to your Wandering Monster die. Your sessions will feel cleaner and more organized right away. If this tool helps, hit subscribe. I've got more index card procedures coming up, and they're all meant to make your table run faster without turning your game into homework. Thank you, and God bless.